Let's go to the... Oh, geez. Like, if I try to pronounce that, I'm gonna embarrass myself. So we will just call it the S Trail. um, where will this road lead? Let's check it out. Did they really need a grant for this garden? Like, literally, that's all it is this tiny little thing right here. City employees applied for and were awarded this grant in 2011 as part of the wellness campaign. This vegetable garden is a grant funded to the Association of Washington Cities. Why? Like, that's literally something that you could have just, like, went to Home Depot and made. Like, Home Depot literally sells better fencing material than that. But it's cool nonetheless, though. And then we got Skuntank and the grappling hook. Inflation required a grant to be set aside for this garden. Oh, this one you actually tagged me in. Go through the gate and start exploring what exactly is waiting for me in this adventure. Is it an adventure or a journey? Haha. This is supposed to be an easy trail. Well, a grappling girl is going to grapple. You know, the way that you said that made me think like you're gonna do like a wrestling grapple where you're just like, I don't know, like you're gonna grab me or somebody else and just do like a suplex. I mean, hey, in Final Fantasy VI, that's not out of the realm of possibility, but... Wait. I see your grappling hook cord, like the tree looks like it cut in half. I pulled in that tree with my hook. Oops. Well, I mean, if it was that fragile, that your grappling hook would have torn it down, like literally the wind at some point or a bad storm would have knocked it down, so you're basically just expediting the process. So, I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, but yeah, that's great. Is this like a gravel pit or something? It all, like, this almost look like, I know it's not, it's probably like a fabric material, but it kind of almost looks like gigantic duct tape is just around this thing. Yeah. Well, hey, I would have been impressed either way had you pulled it down, because I'm like, wow, Cranberry is strong. But yeah, this kind of looks like a gravel pit. It's Mount Eno. Well, at least I have something named after me. What was this used for? It seems very old. Skuntank discovers the mushroom train. Yeah, it is really cool because you see like all these locations that have like been here for years and years, and you just never know what they could have potentially been used for. Because, like I said in the other photo compilation, like, there could have been people who worked hours and hours here, or like people could have had conversations here that were very important to them. They could have like came up with a life-changing invention at this, like, in this very spot. So it's like, it's really interesting to see the history of these places with human habitation, because you just never know like who was here and what they were doing and what they were thinking. Mushrooms! And it's in a line, too. And I love how the grappling hook is almost like Where's Waldo? It's like, where's the grappling hook? Yeah, it is a mushroom train. Ooh, I like that one, because it blends in so well. that it almost kind of looks like a spider web. Like a giant, like a bunch of spider webs on the tree, but that's just how the tree looks. Autumn is the perfect season for hiking. Colorful autumn leaves everywhere. Oh, there it is. Right here. See, I'm just waiting for you, Cranberry, to, like, do a, like, you're just gonna do, like, some photo where you hide the grappling hook in the image, and you're like, here, Eno, just see if you can find them. And with my eyesight, probably not. Ooh. Yep, right here. That's a nurse tree? What is a nurse tree? Notice how the tree is growing in the stump of another. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like the moss on the trees is just... Like, everybody think, like, well, not everybody, but a lot of people think that moss is just ugly, but no, it's beautiful. Like, nature is beautiful. It can be scary, yes. Oh, I love that, because, like, you got, like, a little... I don't know if that's water here, but, like, I can see, like, the... Like, almost like a reflection of water there. Oh, there's a grappling hook. Is this a piece of poop? What is that? It looks like just somebody stick like a rock or something sticking their tongue out. Oh, there's the grappling hook. It's like it's almost like I said, it's almost like it's always hidden in an image and then I just find it. It's the poop emoji from the hit film Emoji Movie. Welp, I'm hooked. Well, yeah, Cranberry hooked you in with her grappling hook, Pirate Fox. Yeah, this is something that I've been doing recently where I've just been showing off, like, photos and videos that people in the community send. So, like, and the same thing goes for your work, Pirate. Like, I really want, like, at some point, if you feel comfortable, I'd love to show off your music and stuff that you're working on. Because it deserves to be seen. So this is like an old, Wait, does the rail end at the end of this tunnel? Huh. Oh, that's probably why it ends, because there's a lake or something there. Send you some VRC pics on Discord. Alright. I'll take a look at those. So what I'll do is I'll look at those next, and then Big's photos will be the last, because his is the most, his has the most, it's the longest, like there's the most stuff. Oh yeah, music. But yeah, like I can see the rail line ended at that video. So it's like, it shows you how old this actually is with this body of water here, and then the rail line just ends right there. So it's been there a long time. Did it end? Yes. You'll see. Oh, there's the grappling hook. I like this one, though, because look at that water. The waves look a little rough, though. Reminds me of home, but with mountains. Are you gonna find Walter Finch's grave at the end of the tunnel? I don't know what we're gonna find at the end of the tunnel. Oh, there's the grappling hook. There are ruins of an old abandoned railway lines on the coast. Why do railway lines connect to the sea? I think I should probably take a drink. My mouth's getting a little too dry. Yeah, it's like I'm really fascinated because there's a story. Oh, okay. So there's... This is part of a line here. So it was along the coast. It just that... It didn't just go into the water. But I feel like... Oh, there's the grappling hook. I feel like maybe some of the water levels had... Like... there used to be like more land here or something, maybe just because of like climate change and other factors. Make note that he says it doesn't just go into the water because it's exactly as we can see. Yeah. So I'm like, this must be a very old railway line then. Yeah, maybe an old bridge or something that got removed. This is the ocean? They loaded minecarts onto a ship. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, that would be the end of the line, so to speak. And then they just reverse it back the other way. Oh, there's grappling hook. And there's actually a train, so there's part of this rail, or at least a rail line nearby. I wonder what that is. It's like a tote or something. Like there's a note, but can't make out what it says. Oh yeah, let me pause the ocean music. Some guy suplexed it after I stopped recording. Was his name Big? I saw something like that, but it was the train from My Little Pony, and it's like it was Sabine just in front of the train. Oh yeah, like I can like just look at the. If you look down here, like just the like the grass and stuff, you can see it moving just from the sheer like force of the train. I wonder what it's transporting. Usually trains like that, like there's coal and stuff, but there's You would think something this big could go so fast. You wouldn't think something this big could go big. I like trains. There's a strange old machine here. And something that I would like to say, like, when I saw all that graffiti, it's that graffiti, it's terrible that people, like, do, like, profanities and stuff, but, like, if you actually, like, take graffiti artists and apply them in, like, a different field or an artistic value, like, graffiti is, like, can be art, when done in a good context, because, like, you see, like, all these crazy designs that people have come up with, like, whether it be like shouting out like a group of friends or something. Like, of course, there's graffiti on its own is bad, of course, like vandalizing public property and stuff. But when they take that skill set and then they apply it to something better than that, I really feel that graffiti is its own art form, in a way. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like if they, instead of like vandalizing public property and then they take it to like whether it be like a local thing or like some artistic thing, like it's really got a lot of value to it. I really want to know what the train driver was thinking when he saw you on that hill. The hill was named Matt, so it is a Matt Hill. Hey. Yeah, right here. Oh yeah, very well. Like honestly, like because of the way that the lighting is in the photo, like she almost kind of looks like one of these leaves. Train video started and scared the hell out of me. Found a small mountain. The sunlight was bad. This made the photo look very dark. I think even with the sunlight, it actually adds to the photo. At this point, I left the main train, started climbing up the hill. Yeah, like even with the sunlight, like the lighting, I think makes it look better. Honestly, like I love how this side of the screen, like there's more. This it's much brighter than this side, so like you see like the sun rays just coming through here. It's really nice. Trail, yeah. Yeah, like exactly. Like I really like it. So like, is this just like a gravel pit or something? I wonder. I sent you train videos too. Trains are fun. Yeah, absolutely. I should also probably, now that I think about it, I should, community photo showcase. And then change it to just chatting. There we go. Hello, Seeky Droid. Good to see ya. Oh, this is the dark one. Yeah, what I would do is I would take this probably into Photoshop. Like me personally, I might see like, because I feel like we could brighten this up a little bit, but still it's really good. Like I'm just wondering, like, is this a gravel hill or something? Because like it just kind of seems out of place from the background. Because like this is all like flat hills and stuff, and then you've got this gravel here, or like dirt. It's a golf course. Okay. We arrived at an interesting landscape. That's a really big mushroom. Oh yeah, that is a big mushroom. The fact that Skuntank can literally sit on top of that mushroom. The sheer variety of terrain I went to: ocean, forests, and fields. I bet you it's, like, it already looks gorgeous, but I can only imagine what that looks like in spring where everything is blooming. Oh, there's the grappling hook. It's like I get excited every time I see it. Got like a mossy plain here. Because like I said, the grappling hook is like, where's Waldo to me? Right here. It's your calling card. It's like your brand, if you will. Nobody's ever gone out there in the spring and lived to tell about it. Is there like some spooky story behind that, or like what's the reasoning for that? Oh, the reasoning is because you wanted to be dramatic. Moo! It's like dramatic pauses. Oh. It's like one of the things that I used to like doing was just like going into a conversation with friends and being like, here, let me tell you something about that. And then just walking away and like not even like acknowledging that I said anything. It's because of the mud, that's why nobody goes there in the spring. I didn't want to put it in my photos, but in that one field I found an exploded bomb? What? Like, not a firework, but like an IED? Oh, there's the grappling hook. Ah, I see. Turn the music down just a tad bit. There it is, right here. It's like one of these days you're just gonna have a photo where it's like super well hidden, and then I spend like an hour trying to find it, and like you just guarantee that it's in the photo. The remains of a building from the 1800s. Also found a golf ball. It must have came from the golf course. So this part right here is the remains of the building. I think it says Wilkes Observatory. Oh, this right here. Like I said, it's incredible to see stuff like this because you recognize that at one point there was human habitation here, and it tells a story because so many important things could have happened in these locations. It kind of goes into the butterfly effect a little bit. So like say like some person who was here had an idea, or they went to a restaurant and bumped into somebody, and that somebody then bumps into somebody else, and then that person bumps in, the next thing you know they bump into Abraham Lincoln, and they have a conversation, and then Abe Lincoln, like, you know, it's like, it's interesting because you just never know like what small insignificant thing would have happened that led to something greater. And that's just what's really cool about speculative history like that. Seeing stuff like this. Grappling hook! Okay, looks like we got one more thing. Oh, the golf ball right there. I didn't even see it. Like, it blends in so well with the other rocks here. But yeah, the golf ball's right here. It's like all your hook's actually pointing directly at it, but like it's just blends in so well it was hard for me to see. I took that ball with me. Yeah, by all means. I mean, it was just kind of there. So I mean, that's a nice thing to remember by. Like whenever I travel places, I try to get like some sort of like knickknack or souvenir like with it. Like I usually at gift shops and stuff, but like I actually need to get another shelf because I've done so much traveling recently. That my travel shelf is actually getting a little too big. Blaze, what is that? What? So, Eno, the next picture, you know what I thought when I saw that tree? The one after this one? What did you think of? I thought this would make a great slingshot. Yeah, I can see that, because you can just get like a giant rubber band and then just like catapult something. Like either like a slingshot, or it almost kind of looks like a wishbone a little bit. If any of you in chat know about the whole wishbone, like make a wish thing, that's kind of what it reminds me of too. You're standing near the site of the 1904 Buffalo Soldier. What does that say? The Buffalo Soldiers were all black regiments created on July 28, 1866. They sent over 177 military actions and were awarded 24 Medals of Honor? Like, wow. They served as firefighters in the West, and some of them, the 1st National Park Rangers. Turn my music down just a little bit. The renowned 7th Cavalry Buffalo Soldiers came to DuPont in 1904, stationed at Fort Walla Walla. They made the difficult journey on horseback across Stampede Pass to participate in the American Lake maneuvers. Over 4,000 troops of the regular Army and National Guard joined together in training exercises in the plains near the creek and American Lake. It was the largest troop gathering of its time on the West Coast. These war games from July 8th through 17th, 1904, were so successful they led to the development of Camp Lewis in 1917, which later became Fort Lewis. The history of the Buffalo Soldiers in DuPont was almost forgotten locally until 1989, where archaeologists began to study the 9th Cavalry site. Here along the creek, they found 11 horseshoe nails, 50 harness rivets, 2 horseshoes, a 1903 rifle cartridge, and more. The history is now preserved in a museum exhibit in DuPont and our state's Buffalo Soldier Museum. That is really interesting. I had no idea that these guys even existed, but really a lot of my historical knowledge goes back to the 40s and then a little bit of World War I, but before that, in the period after the Civil War up until World War I don't know a lot about. But yeah, excellent work as always, Cranberry. I absolutely loved looking at your photos. Your adventures are always a treat to look forward to when I start streaming every week. Yeah, there's so much forgotten history, and I'm really glad that there's some way of preserving it, and there's just a lot of speculation behind some of the things that you find, and sometimes you never get an answer, and that's okay, and that's just what makes it really beautiful. So next up, we have Pirate Fox. So let me go ahead and pull his photos out. So let me, because I'm going to pull up every single one of his photos, so I can just go from tab to tab. They're also in really good resolution, too, because it takes a second for it to load the whole image. And, of course, I'll do this to get the videos. I didn't want to download it, I just wanted to play it. Well, I guess I'll download them and then I'll play them. Okay, so let's get back to it. So this is Pirate Fox. They're a spirit friend like myself. This is them. And then they're at Altissia. For those who were here during my Final Fantasy 15 stream, Altissia was basically the Venice, Italy of EOS. And Pirate Fox, around the time when I first met him, he actually gave me a full-on tour of this place, which was fantastic. You need a VR chat tour guide. Pirate Fox is your spirit. He knows his way around that metaverse like the back of his, nub. And we're also basically twins. He just has black specks on his top of his ears and on his tail. And then he doesn't have pupils like myself. But yeah, that's Altissia in VR chat. He's your much, much smaller twin. Yeah. And he's also doing a really good job at balancing on this small little thing here. Like one like small tumble or like a gust of wind and he's gonna go straight into the canal. And let me tell you, at least in Venice, those canals are not clean. That's why they say not to swim in them. Back whenever the pandemic was going, like in 2020, like early 2020, like whenever like there were so many lockdowns, like Venice the waterways were so clear you could actually see to the bottom almost. But like most of the time, Venice's canals are pretty murky because of all the traffic and the pollution and stuff like that. But yeah, Pirate, you're definitely brave for standing on this. Because, like I said, a little bit of gust of wind, and then you're just going straight into that duty water. And he's doing it here, too. Yeah, but Altissia is just beautiful. And, like, at VR chat, it's the entire city from Final Fantasy 15. So, like, every explorable part of Altissia you can go to, which is really cool. This looks like a part of Final Fantasy 15's world, but I'm assuming it's something different. Yeah, but look at his sword. I love Pirate Fox's sword knife because it is like twice his size and he can swing that thing around. He is literally a Final Fantasy protagonist. Like, that's what I love about Pirate Fox. He, like, if you want a spirit that is a Final Fantasy protagonist, he's your spirit. But hey, you also get to see, like, some of my extended spirit family. And then that's Nova. That's another friendly spirit friend. It's like, it's kind of like, it almost looks glitchy. Gotta go to work, bye. Alright, see you later, Seeky Droid. Have a good one. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, this is Nova. Nova's an absolute sweetheart. You know, because of the way that don't take any offense to this, Pirate Fox, if you're still in the chat, but because of the way that the world is lit, I thought that was a Cool Ranch Dorito you were holding. It just kind of looks like a Dorito with the lighting. Maybe I'm just hungry. I don't know, but like, it looked like a Dorito. But yeah, there's Nova again. Two spirits that also share the white color scheme. Ooh. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like some of these places I'm not familiar with, because Pirate Fox is like the best VR chat tour guide you can ask for. He's seen so much and done so much. I think his sword can actually get bigger too, like that's not its full size. Ooh woo? What? I feel like I'm like they're staring into my very soul. Yeah, those eyes. Oh no! I forgot about this one. So he was showing off some worlds that that are gonna be part of his project. And then we went to a computer screen and he's like, hey, you know, like, just pretend you're typing at the computer like you're super stressed out. And then I had no idea that handsome Squidward was behind me the whole time. Oh, no. Just look at how, like, scared I am. Oh, wow. And there's Pirate in his, Hi-Fi Rush outfit and the scarf, which I think is just adorable. Just, wow. Oh, it's like a stairway to heaven. See, it's like we're seeing natural beauty and metaversal beauty. Is this from the VR chat game you play? Yes. The game that I play and where I interview the voice actors from. Yeah, the reflection is very beautiful. And I love this because, like, you could easily miss that there is a giant fucking whale here. Because it just kind of blends in with the background a little bit. So, like, you can easily miss that there is a giant floating whale right here. Windfish, yes. Sky whales, yes. And I just love this because, like, each of you, like, that I'm showing the photos off with, Cranberry, Big, and Pirate, like, you're all going on these amazing journeys, but it's different kinds of journeys, but you all have that commonality together, is that you have that exploration, that knack for exploration, wanting to see things that are incredible, and it's the same kind of heart, but in different ways. Ooh, that kind of looks like it'd be a portal of some... Oh, that's a piano. Yeah, that's like a piano in the woods. I hope it's not the Mario 64 one. Oh, the Orange Stone Valley picture was a sneak peek. Same world as the reflection. Oh, I see. Ooh. It's almost like a Christmas tree. But it's more like a spiritual-esque kind of Christmas tree. I love the little subtle glow that these worlds kind of give off sometimes. Because one thing that I love about the spirits is, like, I've always kind of imagined them with kind of like a subtle glow on them. So it kind of like this kind of takes that vision and kind of makes it reality. Oh, wait a minute. I see that drink, and I see the food. Pirate, did you have a good time without us? I love it, though, because it's just... It fits you so well. But I also see, like, this character over here, too, and, like... This bottle is taller than you are. You were binging. Well, hey. I'm just happy to find a chair that you fit in. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a very small chair. But I've also got some videos that Pirate Fox sent, so let me save the other one real quick. And then I will open those up and play them. So give me just a second, chat. So we'll start with this one. Let's see. Let's do that. Oh. I'm trying to pull it up, but that's just my downloads folder. Maybe I have to do a window capture, not a... Yeah, for some reason, like, the video's not popping up on my stream, so let me try Let me try adding a new window capture. Videos. Is he like the... I may just have to do a display capture if this doesn't show up. I can stream a Discord window, so I might have to just do that. So let me pull it up on my Discord. Yeah, there we go. So I'll just do it like that. But I'm also missing from the screen. Let me pull it down a little bit. There we go. Then I'll also fix that Chrome window. Alright, so this was the first video that you did. Let's take a look. Oh, wow. Oh, that is scary. Oh. Yeah, suplex it. Like, just the wood right there would scare me. Like, and it looks like you were, like, I'm guessing you were at, like, on a balcony or something on the train. Because, like, you were just, I see, like, a hand right here. But, wow. The end of the train, yeah. Okay, let me pull up the next one. The caboose, minus the red versus blue. This works with the music very well. Yeah, I like to have a little music just so it's not complete dead air, but yeah, it really adds to the relaxing vibe. Oh, look at the misty mountains here. I'm a sucker for misty mountains. Like, ooh. It would be hilarious if you saw me standing by recording it. It was that train all along. That's just so cool. Like, I really, like, I'm hoping with the new job that I've got coming up, which, by the way, if you weren't here, Pirate Fox, I interviewed at I sent you the photos a little while ago, but I interviewed at that news station, and they want to hire me. So I will be having a new job soon. And it's full-time, so I'll be able to work, like, the full amount of hours that I need, and I'll be able to hopefully be able to go on trips like this. Yeah, like, I'm really excited for that. So, like, I'm just really happy that, like, through all of the trial and error of applying to jobs, like, I got a second chance, so it's really nice to see. Okay, so now it is time for Big Something's photo compilation, everyone. So this is part 3 of his autumn road trip. Like I said, I'm gonna kind of last time. I'm kind of need to take another drink. I'm gonna kind of glance over like the text dialogue a little bit, but I'll read some of it. After a long, well-earned rest from the previous day's events, we made our way to the southern end of Canyonlands National Park for the afternoon before heading off to Arches National Park during sunset. Our first stop is in the Pothole Point Trail, which features many views of the unique landscapes, including the distant Needles formations. I feel like I read that like a newscaster. But yeah, let's take a look. And see, it's just, we see so much of a contrast in the locations that we've all seen from these photos. Because, like, we went from, like, the ocean and the forest to Pirate Fox with Alaska, and now we're in the desert. So we're kind of, like, going across, like, multiple different biomes here, and that's awesome! Like, all of you, like, in chat, like, all of you adventurers in my chat, like, you were all awesome. So, like, you know, thank you for sharing them with me. Like, I feel like really honored that you are sharing these journeys with me. This kind of looks like a hidden entranceway to like a video game. Like I feel like in Zelda, this is like a Zelda entrance or something where you throw a bomb and then it just blows up the entrance. That's kind of what it feels like. And what I love is that the sense of scale, like this stuff off in the distance is huge, but because it's so far away, like it looks so much smaller on the horizon. Just so cool. Yeah, I think, like, definitely I'm gonna get myself, like, a walking stick and maybe some boots, so, like, when I do go hiking or on adventures, like, I have stuff that I can prepare myself with. But look at this, like, this stuff back here. Like, it almost looks kind of like a forest. Yeah, I just wear Hey Dude shoes, so, like, I definitely need some boots. Because I used to have a pair of combat boots, but those no longer fit me. Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I'm not gonna do something, like, dangerous. Like, I definitely stick to my own comfort zone with a lot of things. Like, I definitely don't want to go, like, to a place like this by myself. Like, that's a big thing with me, is I always, if I want to go somewhere like this, I want to have people with me, just in case something happens. And I think that's the biggest problem when it's journeys like this for me, is that I don't have really anybody to go with. Because my family doesn't really like to go on long trips like that. I don't really have like many of friends in my town that I can go with that would be willing to go on trips like this. So it's like finding someone to go on an adventure like this with. I'd have to go like find somebody. I'd have to go somewhere else for that. I need to start planning more trips. Yeah, like, hey, if you're ever down in my area, Pirate Fox, we should hang out. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, within reason, yeah. Like, we're not going to the Bahamas or anything like that. Which, I mean, next year, arguably, I am planning a trip with one of my buddies, just because, like, me and one of my friends have been planning on going on a cruise for a long time. And we were going to back in 2020, but obviously that didn't turn out the way that we expected it to. yeah, who knows? Maybe Tasty if you want to go on that. If you want to go on a cruise, like maybe next year. See, like this is the focus of the image, but my eye is actually drawn to this in the distance here. I can steal a yacht for us. Make sure to get trip insurance. Yeah, I was thinking, I was looking at Carnival, because Carnival seems to be a relatively trustworthy brand. But then again, like, there's a lot of research involved with that, because, like, it's just... I guess it's also time of year that you do it, so, like, in the more peak busy months, it's going to be more expensive, but, like, in the colder months, like, people aren't really going on cruises, so it's much cheaper, so it would be something like in the winter, the pre-spring, if you will. Yeah, because look at this, it kind of looks like a forest over here, but these are mountains and, like, mesas. And the fact that, you know, like, let me quote Jeff Goldblum here. Life finds a way. Because, look, you have this tree here that's in the middle of these two rocks, and yet somehow it's still alive. And blooming. I'm sure there's probably some text that you've said. Oh, that was actually the last photo of that compilation bit. Down the road from here is the Big Spring Canyon. There is an overlook that we enjoyed very much, consisting of a set of natural pillars right at the edge of the canyon. Oh, there's also a parking lot here too, so it took a while for people to get out of the frame. Yeah, because I would imagine it's probably a big tourist spot. So it's probably relatively safer than if you actually just drove out into a random part of the desert, like off-road. And see, I like this one because ordinarily, like, a glare on the photo is, like, considered a sin in the photography community. However, I don't follow the same rules as the overarching photography community because I think it makes it look charming. Because this photo glare, it's very cinematic. Because, like, you've got, like, all this, like, coming down here. It just makes it, gives it a cinematic appeal, I think. And then there's a person right here. But I love this photo, though. Like, the composition is, like, chef's kiss, just spot on. You gotta head out, Pirate Fox? Going to see some pirates about a movie. All right. Well, thank you for popping in, Pirate Fox. Thank you for the gifted subs and joining me in my journey and allowing me to show off your photos. You are awesome. Don't let anyone ever tell you that you're not, because you're awesome. Oh my god. You are so cool, Pirate Fox. Have a good night, Pirate Fox. Thanks for popping in, and enjoy your piracy. Yeah, it says that Pirate Fox has gifted a total of 51 subs on the channel, and that is amazing. It's always good to have spirits on the Twitch. It almost looks like a natural stairwell, kind of. So you've got like this. You've got these natural lines. It's like you go up here, and then there's another hurdle, and then another one, and then another one. See, I'm waiting for a specific image that Big and I were talking about. Because I looked at some of his photos beforehand, and there's a specific image that I'm looking for that I absolutely love. All the canyons here have that formation where it's like a giant staircase. And And that's why I imagine like a lot of this stuff is sacred to a lot of the tribes that have lived here for thousands of years. See, this looks like a dough from like bread or something, or like it looks like a bunch of pillows. But I love this because of just all of the different lines and shapes here. So we've got like it curves and then it just goes into here. I like this one too. Did I tell you about the bread I sent to Japan? I don't think so. What happened with that? And so Big told me that these holes right here are from like air pockets that came to the surface. So that's why there's just so many like holes right here. It's not from erosion specifically, but from air pockets. I thought that this kind of looked like a turtle at first, but it's just it's Pareidolia with a rock formation. Like the face on Mars. Yeah, here's more of them. Like the air pockets. Because it almost looks like it melted the rocks a little bit. But obviously it didn't. It's just air pockets. Yeah, erosion in air pockets. Yeah, because you can see where the wind kind of did its work. And then you also see where's like the rain as well. Here, let me see if you've... I don't want to skip over your writings. There are unique formations here, and the light is just right to give it that excellent golden shade. I spent some time climbing into these small caves to take photos and look for geocaches that may be here. I didn't find any. We admired the scenery until it was time to head to the next park. Cranberries aren't really a thing in Japan, but your best friend loves the cranberry walnut bread I bake. I make it only in November, so every year I make it and ship it to her in Japan. Hey, that's awesome. I like how you've kind of got like a natural pathway here too. Okay, this one's really good because you've got like a contrast in the lighting situation here. So like if you look over here, like everything is in shadow, but then you look over here and you can kind of see a little bit of the sunlight hitting off the rocks here. And then you see a little bit of the sun peeking right there. And it's really good. That's not the sun, that's a UFO just behind the rock. Yeah, like I would imagine just like the UFO just popping up right here. Oh, we got a lizard friend! Very friend-shaped lizard. It's so cute though, like it's almost like they're posing for the picture. And that's the thing, is like when you look at these photos, you can't really get a sense of scale unless you're there. And that's something that I really love about VR, is that you get a sense of scale much better for things like this. I enjoyed seeing all the lizards around here. Did he save you money on car insurance? Yep, 15% or more. Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. So I love this because it's like smallest to largest. So we've got smallest, second smallest, and the biggest. But what I love about this rock in particular is it looks like it's flipping you off, because that looks like a middle finger right here. But I also like this because it looks like this rock is, it'll just fall off at any point and just roll like an Indiana Jones boulder. See, like I can't reach the rock, but I was gonna poke it. Yeah, you just got really lucky with a lot of these lighting conditions. Nature giving you the middle finger, yeah, to all the people that are visiting. Because I remember, I think it was in Utah or Colorado, there was like an urban legend about this sacred mountain that like you really don't want to take like any rocks or anything from that mountain because it's cursed or something. And I remember hearing a story about somebody who disobeyed that and took like a rock or something from the Sacred Mountain, and they just had bad luck consistently over and over until they shipped it back. But we can kind of get a sense of scale here because there's some people right here. Yeah, it's huge. And look at this, like, I think the people actually add to the image because, like, you can see them all trying to go up here, so it's almost like a line. But, like, look at this. Like, just a natural archway here. I was gonna send you one of those rocks as a Christmas gift. Oh, believe me, Cranberry, like, no supernatural rock is gonna make my luck any worse than it actually is. Oh, I mean, after all, like, I did get hit with every inanimate object on the beach known to man. So, yeah. Oh. Anyway. Yeah, I think it might have been Arizona. Like, I know it was like a mountain that was really sacred to the native tribes. Why? Why? Ah, I'm melting. Ah. If you turn it a certain way, it almost looks like a smiley face. But yeah, this is just incredible. And I love this too, because look, you also got a jet trail here. And then you got this line of people that are climbing up, trying to get up there. But it's like, I really feel that this is like a National Geographic level photo. And I am not saying that just to, like, win any points. Like, no, like, this feels like a National Geographic photo. And I mean that as, like, an amateur photographer with a college degree. Like, I mean that. Where's the grappling hook? I'm sure we could probably, if we looked around, we could find it somewhere. But yeah, like, it's hard to describe, but, like, I really feel like this part right here, like, zoomed in, would be part of the National Geographic. Or, honestly, this whole photo would be National Geographic worthy. On that plane? Yeah. I mean, we can't tell from this distance. And got some God rays coming in. Those, like, cars and stuff down here? But then, like, in the shadows, you can see these people down here, but, like, you could easily miss them because of the foreground. Yeah, this place, I feel like I wouldn't be as nervous at this place because there's so many people there, so if something does happen, there's people there that could help you. And I really like this one, too, because it's very silhouette-y. So, like, you've got this, like, little mesa mountain here, and then you've got the jet trail right here. Like, very well done. Yeah, like, I would never have thought that there was a road here and a parking lot, so... Was this really far into the wilderness? Like, did you have to drive very far to get here? Or was this just kind of, like, outside of a city? No, not at all. Capturing these views along with jet trails in the sky makes for a fantastic aesthetic. As the sunlight slowly faded, we made our way to the Devil's Garden. This place contains the largest concentration of artists within the park and is one of the best places to be in sunset. We just missed the best lighting for this area, but it was still a great experience. Yeah, like, even without, like, the really fantastic lighting, I mean, it's still really great because, like, this right here, even with, like, a more, like, muted lighting, it still looks great. Like, for me, like, as a photographer, like, I tend to play around with hue and saturation a little too much. So I like for me, like for something like this, I would probably bump the saturation up a little too unrealistically, but that's just how I do things. And that's the beauty of like everyone like seeing artistic things in different ways. Ooh, I like this one. Because it looks like the jet trail is like shooting out of the rock there. It's like zooming right through the hole and then over there. Or like, or almost like a Greek god or something, like through a rock, and it's just like through here, it blew up the mountain, and then it's just like going over the edge there. Trying to go overboard with it because I know I can easily do that. Yeah, I tend to try to not, but because whenever you mess with the hue and saturation, it can add like artificial grain to the photo, and like it just becomes a problem. Ooh. There's just so many opportunities for like arch photos and stuff, and like for stuff like this, it would be really cool to set up a camera here like as the night falls because of the lack of light pollution, and then just do a time-lapse photo, or alternatively just, you know, night sky photography in general. Somebody did, yeah, like that. It's a perfect place for it. I feel like that's what these people are trying to do here. Because it just feels like that would be a perfect spot to just like camp for a bit and just set up a photo. I actually ran into one photographer and she had her camera set up on the tripod at the right at the angle I was taking the photo. Once again, the desert landscape at this hour and the jet trails left by air traffic create the feeling of a sci-fi world. I managed to get several more photos of these arches before it gets too dark to capture anything properly. The next day would be our last in Utah. We were heading back to Colorado for another night before starting the long drive home across the plains. Before we left the state, we witnessed a real treat, the remains of an ancient settlement. This is where things get really interesting. Because look at this. Like, you can see, like, like, you can tell that it's before the modern era based on the brickwork. So, I know a little bit about construction because of my job, but see how all of these, like, look at these bricks here. Like, they're all different shapes and sizes. So, like, this one doesn't look the same as that one, or these ones are longer and some are smaller, because they didn't have machinery like nowadays where you can just make bricks that are roughly the same exact size each time. So they had to do this all by hand. And from what I understand, a lot of the time, like if it was clay or something like that, they would just like, they'd have like these little containers where they would put them in and then like smacked the brick into the shape that they wanted. But like, yeah, that's how you can tell how old it is, because of how all the shapes are different. And the fact that it's still standing after all this time, like, it's incredible. Because like I said with Cranberries photos, like, you just never know what story this told. Like, I mean, there could have been a family here overnight one night, after they ran away from some raiding party or something. Like, you just never know. Like, there's just so many stories that each location like this can tell. And it's just really fascinating. And I think it's just pareidolia, but it kind of looks like there's somebody crouched in there with a face. And it just makes you wonder, like, what it looked like in its heyday, whenever it was at its prime. This is the Hovenweep National Monument. Its name comes from the, I think it's Uti word for deserted valley, and was coined by a photographer from the late 1800s. The park holds the remains of a permanent settlements built around 900 AD, and signs of human habitation as far as 10,000 years ago. Most of these structures were built between 1200 to 1300 AD, predating the arrival of the Spanish conquistadors by hundreds of years. And to think, like, you know, it's just incredible that they had, like, the stoneworking know-how to create something like that. Kind of reminds me of the mountain from Holes. Most of the buildings and farms that made up the settlement were in the Square Tower Canyon pictured to the left. Those buildings would be primarily wooden structures such as tents, while many of the important structures were built from stone. The style is very similar to permanent settlements across the world, with most people living in less permanent wooden houses next to stone defensive and religious structures. The picture to the right shows the Sleeping Ute mountain range. According to legend, this mountain range is a sleeping chief and warrior god resting after his fight against the evil ones. The colors of the clouds which occasionally hang over the mountain range were signs of changing seasons, as the chief was changing to his blanket for each season, or changing his blanket. It is said that one day he will rise again to aid the tribe if the evil ones return. Those mountains remain sacred to this day. Yeah, like I said, these mountains kind of gave me the same vibe as the mountain from Holes, because it looks kind of similar. But yeah, it almost does look like somebody's just laying there. So like there would be the head right there and then the body. And then we got some more of these structures here. Yeah, see, this one seems to be in a bit more better shape. And also, it looks like a lot more care was put into the stonework, because a lot of these bricks are similar sized. I mean, obviously you still have variety here and there, but it's more, it's much more consistent, and it shows with how intact this building is. It just makes me wonder, like, what's buried here. I was just making sure that didn't, yeah. There was a lot of restoration done to the site a while ago. Is that Tomb Fox's tail? But yeah, it just makes me wonder what's buried at this site, because I'm assuming there's probably like artifacts and stuff that have been buried here. Naturally, you know, best not to disturb sites like that, but if there's like a legitimate archaeological expedition here, like I can only imagine some of the things that they could find. Your car keys are buried there. Yeah, probably along with my common sense and, well, most of my other things. I mean, the question, like, I mean, honestly, though, what do you think Eno actually drives? Like, based on what you know about me, what do you think I drive? But yeah, it's almost like it kind of almost looks like a medieval castle, but this was a completely different culture on the other side of the world. Like, you can see a lot of similarities. But it's just incredible that they were able to build this stuff. A convertible with 3 wheels? I mean, that's pretty unique, but no, nothing that fancy. You drive Crazy Wolf insane? Yes, I do. Oh, last night we were playing Insurgency, and I usually, like, I kill him in the console, so, like, I have a button that I press that anytime, like, I press that button, he just dies immediately. So he could be in the middle of, like, an important mission, and then I'll just press the beep key on my keyboard, and he just collapses dead. But last night, when we were playing it, like, I had died, and he had taken over for me, so I just kept giving him a bolt-action rifle over and over again, so there was, like, maybe 6 or 7 that were on the ground because he kept dropping them. I may as well be the spirit of mischief. But yeah, this kind of looks like a watchtower, but you notice these holes here, like, I don't think, like, because some of these holes look like they might have been just because, like, they've fallen off, but, like, some of them are big enough to where it feels like they were windows or something you could stick, like, a weapon or something out of. This kind of reminds me of, For those who have played Breath of the Wild, the ranch ruins, Lon Lon Ranch, this is what it kind of reminds me of. This structure is special. This is known as Hovenweep Castle because of how the large stone building resembles a medieval castle. Archaeologists believe most all of the stone structures, including Hovenweep Castle, were important ritual sites called kivas. In fact, the window slots and doors of the building have been shown to divine the solar calendar. The building is aligned so that the light is channeled through these openings during the summer and winter solstice and the fall and spring equinox. So that's why there's some up here and then some down here. Buildings such as the Hovenweep Castle can serve multiple purposes and likely have. For instance, it could be an effective defensive structure protecting the building of the settlement during raids by enemy tribes. It may have been built to serve that purpose as well as being a timekeeping kiva. The same may also be said of the many towers that are positioned in and around the canyon. Because I would imagine the climate was probably like a lot different looking back then, because we're talking like roughly almost 1,000 years ago. By the late 1200s AD, the settlement was abandoned due to long drought, making the area unsustainable for the people living there. We chatted with a couple from Minneapolis who was visiting the site. Again, more people from the upper Midwest, like us. And I mentioned this was a similar scenario as the stories of ancient Mayan and Incan ruins. It even was around the same date as similar instances, so I mentioned it must have been an instance of climate change causing these settlements to be abandoned. Sure enough, they mentioned how in 1257 a major eruption in Indonesia caused a volcanic winter, resulting in a global climate change event lasting several years. Upon further research, I discovered how multiple volcanic eruptions occurred during the rest of the 1200s, which impacted the climate, and likely caused the major drought that forced people to abandon Hovenweep and many other settlements in the region. Now it's mostly just lizards that live here. Very cute lizards. Yeah, and also the 1800s, too. Like, the 1800s had a lot of volcanic eruptions. Mount Tambora in 1815, and then the 1883 eruption of Krakatoa, which also caused a volcanic, not really a volcanic winter, but Mount Tambora caused the year without a summer. When Mount St. Helens erupted, you could see there was ashfall as far away as Kansas. Just like trace amounts of it. And I remember seeing news broadcasts from the ABC archive of like Portland, Oregon getting covered in ash. Oh, we got a lizard friend! Looks like he's missing the tip of his tail. Yeah, and there's just so much story to be told there. It's just a gorgeous place because it also showcases how nature has recovered after such a traumatic event. And, like, even after all this time, like, you still see the remnants of the eruption, whether it be dead trees that are near the road, or Spirit Lake having all those logs there. Like, but Spirit Lake, like, it just is a showcase of how nature is able to heal after something like that. Yeah, I really want to climb Mount St. Helens one day. I just really want to see the top of it. That and Mount Shasta. Like, Mount Shasta and Mount St. Helens, I want to see both of those. After appreciating the history and craftsmanship of the indigenous people, they knew how to build structures that last 800 years. We moved on from the state of Utah and made our way back to Colorado. On our way to the next hotel, we drove to the Mesa Verde. Sorry for my mispronunciations. I'm a little tired. National Park, and admired the sights from atop the plateau. Ooh. See, I'd love to get that Nikon Coolpix camera, the Nikon Coolpix P950, because with the zoom on that camera lens, you'd be able to zoom into this body of water here, these buildings here, and you'd be able to, like, see people there and make out detail and, like, sometimes even read signs. It is probably one of the, it's like a freaking telescope on a camera. It's so good. Like, I mean, the fact that you're able to take videos of the moon, it's just so good. Like, because there's 3 different versions now. I mean, just imagine that I'm holding 3 nubs up. But there's 3 different versions of it. There's the P900, which is the oldest one, the P950, and then the P1000. So the P1000 is the best, but it's also not really the best camera to be running around with because it's so big. It's not really something that you can just, like, reliably carry around portably, like the P950, where it's small enough and compact enough you can carry it around. Because right now I use a Canon 700D from 2013. So my DSLR is very much out of date, but it still serves me well. But I generally take photos with my iPhone now because of the wide-angle lens. So from what Big told me, this is basically like a settlement or a city, if you will. But he was not allowed to go to this place because you need to do like a tour reservation or something along those lines. Which is understandable to keep, like, people accountable. So, like, if there's vandalism or something, and then who to prosecute, and they have that insurance, so to speak. And I'm glad that they do that because it prevents, like, people from going in and ruining these ancient sites. But looking at this, like, I just like glancing at it and seeing the size of the people here. Like, I can just imagine, like, what kind of things went on in this settlement. Like, just going up this street, and then, like, maybe there's, like, a town hall meeting or something here, where, like, there's somebody speaking up here, down there, or, like, there's kids just playing down here. There's just so much history and story to be told. Oh, yeah, me too. I would love to see this. Because a lot of the time, like, because, like, if I wanted to see something from the ancient world, I'd have to go to Europe. But, like, seeing that we have stuff like this in America, it makes me happy knowing that I can visit something like this from the ancient world. Because I'd love to see those old Roman roads. We also encountered a site I was not expecting, more ancient ruins, this time built along the cliffsides of Mesa Verde. The Cliff Palace was inhabited around the same time as Hovenweep and soon abandoned for the same reason. It is available to walk down to as part of a guided tour, but we would need to schedule it in advance. The Park Service is very careful about preserving sites of historical importance, as they should. And after our last hotel stay in Colorado, we stop at one more place before we leave the state and head back home. This place is interesting because of how out of place it seems. At this angle first, this is very much what you would expect to see in Colorado. Yeah, that definitely screams Colorado. Like, if you told me, like, Colorado, like, this is what I would imagine. That is until you turn around. So, there's, like, this parking lot here, and then around, like, it's just this. I mentioned this when you showed me the photos, Big, but I love the stick. Like, this branch here. It adds so much personality to the photo. Because if this was just empty, it would just be, like, you know, this desert sand plateau. But, no, it's like, it's... Well, I'm touching the stick. I'm touching the stick. Yeah, like, it just adds so much personality to the photo. In an instant, a new sort of desert emerges. The Great Sand Dunes National Park feels very much like the sand dunes of the Sahara, just without the oppressive heat, and also with the rest of Colorado's lush countryside within viewing distance. The dunes were formed over thousands of years of erosion and wind, eventually causing the sand to pile up here. It is difficult to walk through all this sand, especially going uphill. However, the park provides sand sleds to make it all worth it. You can sled down the sand dunes. Hey, I was just talking about that in Journey. You know, there's your hiking stick. Yeah. Just, like, take a saw and just, like, saw off a little bit of it to make my hiking stick. Yep, there's the stick again. Oh, there it is again. Yeah, and if you look closely, you can see these little lines right here from when people had slid down. So that's really cool. It would just be so fun. Because I remember when I was a kid, we had this ice storm, like this really bad ice storm. So I want to say this is like 2007 or something like that. But I remember there was like this really massive ice storm. And I was at the Boys and Girls Club, the local Boys and Girls Club, and we took like these lunch trays and stuff, and we used those as sleds to slide down the hills, and it was really fun. And I would just imagine that sliding down a sand dune would be fun too. You rolled down them? Oh. The contrast between the massive sand dunes and Colorado's landscape makes for a very unique experience and was a worthwhile final stop before heading home. And that is that, my final set of photos from this long adventure. I hope you enjoyed the photos as well as the stories. I know I certainly enjoyed putting these compilations together, and I will continue to do so for my past and future vacations. Feel free to check those out when they're available. Regardless, I wish you all the best. Excellent work, Big. Like, excellent work. Yeah, excellent work, everyone. To Pirate, to Cranberry, to Big, all of you did so well with these adventure photos. It's like, we just saw such a major contrast between each of your adventures, with Pirate doing the VR adventures into spiritual places, and then Cranberry with the ocean and the forest and the trains, and then Big with your desert. Like, yeah, fantastic, everyone. Like, I am so glad that, like, and honored, honestly, that you're showing me this stuff, because it's great, and I'm really happy that you all felt comfortable to share that with me. So, like I said, that will be the end of the stream. Thank you all for joining me on my journey, and tomorrow I will be continuing Final Fantasy VI. So I am going to raid us out to Ava. They are a bunny. Kind of like me, but they're a bit different. Let me see if I spelled their name right. Yep, they are a bunny. They're a recent VTuber that I found, and they are very, very sweet. They are they/them pronouns. But thank you all for joining me in my realm tonight, and I will be seeing you next time. Bye-bye!